Bradley joins a gym that gives him the first month free with the $100 sign-up fee, then costs $20 each month. How many months can he go to the gym for $260? Now we are going to write an equation to represent the situation, define the variables, and solve the equation. Well, again, kind of off to the side, what I'm thinking is I was told by my teacher that if ever I'm going to have to do some kind of graph, if time is involved, it's on the x-axis, and if ever money is involved, it's on the y-axis. And this has both of those. So let's start, before we write an equation, because we need the variables first, we're going to define the variables. So x is going to be number of months, and y will be total cost. Now we've done this before, writing equations like this. There's only one little catch here, that this time he gets the first month free with his sign-up fee. So it's not simply going to be y equals 100 plus 20x. That's what you might want to put. But then that means for the first month, if we plug in 1 in place of the x, then that means the first month it costs him $120, which we know that's not true. The first month he's only spent $100. So there's a problem with that, and we have to figure out what to do with that. So what we do with that is we subtract, actually maybe we could put this back in there. We subtract 1 from the x. Since the first month is already paid for right here, we subtract 1 from the x's. And that's our equation. We can leave it like that. Now, some of your problems are going to ask you to write the equation, and there you go, there's your equation. And then it'll say, write it in the form y equals ax plus b. Well, when it says that, that means that we have to now distribute the 20, meaning multiply each term inside by the 20. So y would equal 100 plus 20x plus negative 20. And then to combine like terms, we need to commute, meaning rearrange 20x plus 100, and as long as it's all addition, you can do this, plus negative 20. So now when we simplify it, we get y equals 20x plus 80. So you need to recognize that this equation and this equation are equivalent, or they are equal to each other. It's just that it's been distributed, and the like terms have been combined, and now it's in this form. Now this question has another an added question, which is how many months can he go to the gym for $260? Well, remember, that's our total cost, so we've replaced the y in this one or this one. I'm going to do it in the simplified one. Actually, you could do it in either one. In fact, maybe I could show you in both. Move that over to the side a little bit. First, I'll do it in the one down here. So 260 replaces the y equals 20x plus 80. We solve this by subtracting 80 from both sides. And I'm going to have to write it to the side because I'm running out of room. Let's see, maybe if I move it up a little bit. So that is 180 equals 20x, and then I divide both sides by 20. So x equals 9 months. Now I want to show you that that would work up here as well. Again, I replace the y with 260. I start by subtracting 100 from both sides. We always want to do the undo the addition or subtraction first if possible. So 160 equals 20 times x minus 1. And now I undo the multiplication by dividing both sides by 20. Well, I'm starting to run into my other problem. So 8 equals x minus 1. And then just so you can see, I'm going to add 1 to both sides here. And you can see that 8 plus 1 gives me 9 months. So you can see that both of those equations give you the same answer. Now one more thing I want to show you, I'm going to move this over again, is if you'll remember the last video had a health fitness, whatever fitness place, it's another type of gym that Frank and Stein went to, and his equation, if you'll remember, was why he had a $50 sign-up fee plus $30 a month. So this was his equation. So the question is, which gym should you join, knowing both of these? And at first, it seems like this one is the better deal because there's only a $50 sign-up fee. Well, remember that this one that we have today, it's cheaper per month. It's only $20 per month. So even though Frankenstein's was cheaper to begin with, the per month charge is cheaper. So at what point, if you're only going to go for a couple months and then you're going to drop out, you definitely should go with this one. But if you really plan on staying with it and going for a year or 2 years, at what point is this one a better deal, even though right at first there's that $100 sign-up fee? Well, this is easy. We set them equal to each other. So we put the 20x plus 80 equals 50 plus 30x. Now we need to get all of the x's to one side and all the numbers to the other. So I'm going to start by subtracting 20x from both sides. I chose which one to do it. You could really start with any one of the four. I could have subtracted 30x from both sides. I could have subtracted 80 from both sides. I could have subtracted 50 from both sides. You could have started with any one of the four. I chose what would give me a positive x because negative x's kind of tend to confuse people. So on the left-hand side, I'm only left with 80. On the right-hand side, I'm left with 50 plus 10x. Well, since the x's are on the right, I subtract 50 now. So 30 equals 10x. And then to solve, I divide both sides by 10. So it looks like at 3 months, you will have spent the same amount at each gym. And we could quickly check that. Up here, if we plug in 3, 20 times 3 is 60, and 60 plus 80 equals $140. Well, at the other gym, if we plug in 3 months, 3 times 30 is 90, and 90 plus 50 again equals 140. So if you're only going to go for 1 or 2 months, you definitely want to pick this one because it's going to be cheaper overall. At 3 months, it doesn't even matter which one you pick. But if you're going to go for more than 3 months, you'll end up spending less money at this new gym that has a higher startup fee but less per month. So I want to show you one more equation. A new music app costs $20 for 3 months, then costs $10 per month for unlimited music with no commercials. So if we define our variables, x will be the number of months again, y will be total cost again. This time what's different is y, the total cost, is going to equal the $20 initial fee, plus $10 per month. Now again, we can't write it just like this because there were 3 months included with the $20. So it's in parentheses x minus 3. Now if we're going to write it in the form y equals ax plus b, we have to distribute the 10. So y equals 20 plus 10x minus 30. And again, I commute the 20 and the 10x. And then when I combine these like terms, I get y equals 10x minus 10, which is a correct equation, even though it doesn't make as much sense because we really can't see how it relates to the original one. So again, our equation that we want is this one, and if they ask us to change it into y equals ax plus b, we have to distribute and combine like terms.